Hi everyone. These are definitely energetically completely different times as we have experienced the past months. Um, a lot of it is due to, if you're a little bit known with astrology, that there is more fire energy in the ether. So past months have all been about letting go, dissolving, letting go, dissolving, dissolving, dissolving. And we're still in that process, but there's also another energy that is showing us something new. And I think a lot of us feel um, more, how do you say that? You have more enthusiasm for living. I think in general, because the last months have, um, especially for the sensitive ones and the empaths who are very much attuned and the feeling bodies of this universe, have been very depressed, because there is so much that has to be felt. And if it comes to the collective, there is so much darkness, there's so much pain, there is so much dysfunctioning in society. And when you're attuned to that, it can sometimes feel like it's hopeless, it's completely hopeless. At least I have felt the past months often this feeling of hopelessness, and losing the appetite for life in general. And the last few weeks I feel, because of the fire energy that is this is literally igniting us in a new way. We have been scraping the bottom of the pit over and over and over and over. It was downright depressing, to be honest. There was so much to digest, there's so much to see, there's so much to put on the stage of light. And now it's not so much, it's less about only dissolving, dissolving, dissolving. There is, especially for empaths, this fire energy. We empaths have the how do you say that, the tendency to be very compassionate, and of course that's a very good character trait. But in that process, a lot of us have lost our own way. What am I about? What direction? What do I want to go? Um, where does my passion lay? What does feel good for me? What does feel safe for me? These are questions that are popping up, and are going to pop up more and more the coming months. Um, so it brings us more into our own body and less into the collective, and feeling the whole, and hold space for everyone and have empathy for everyone. A lot of, especially the souls who have a lot of water energy in their being, they are very much seeing the hurt and seeing the friction and seeing the shadow all around them. And in that seeing, they lose, it's the water, right? It's the water energy. They lose sense of okay, I see all of this, I feel all of this, but how am I doing? How do I want to interact with the world? What direction do I want to go? Where is my safety? Where is my health? um, where is my integrity? Very important one. I feel there's such a beautiful shift happening right now, and I feel this healthy fire rising inside of us about staying true to our integrity, staying true to what we know, staying true to what we see and feel, instead of moving with the majority or moving with the energy that we are engaging with. staying true, holding our own space, and letting it be uncomfortable if it becomes uncomfortable, letting it be painful if it becomes painful. But um, that is a fire. This is almost, that's not almost, is an animalistic fire that is igniting in us at the moment, that feels freedom. It can smell it, and of course we still feel these threats, some threats that we have there, that still needs to be dissolving, but we can smell we can smell the freedom. So um, there is this friction happening inside of us. In the other way, we're standing still with one foot in the old way of being, and the other foot is already in the new way of being. We feel, okay, here, this is where we want to go. Um, this is where I want to be. This is who I want to become. So, and this friction can sometimes feel very frustrating and very almost rageful, and not rageful in a negative way, but rageful in this animalistic power that wants to break free. I'm having the image of Godzilla in my head that really wants to break free. It's just, slapping all of the chains loose, and it just wants to become the being, the animalistic nature that it is. And that's what I'm feeling also very strongly. We have been undoing ourselves of an unnatural way of being for years now, and some people even from decades. And we can smell, and we can smell the freedom, and we are exhausted, like, just get it over with. I want to live. It's just, that is what a lot of us just want. That's why you engaged in this process of ascension. It's to live, to simply live, not to feel other people's emotions, not to feel our ancestral emotions, or our ancestral identifications, or our cultural identifications, because we have not been living our life. We have been living the sum of culture, um, upbringing, ancestral trauma, and a lot of us have felt this all along, and uh, decades ago, and some of us years ago, and it doesn't matter when it started, but we started feeling like, this is not my life. And we started peeling that onion. And the moment we wake up, we start seeing how much we have been, how can I say it, controlled by um, outside influences that have been taking a place in our very DNA. And we are becoming more and more our essence, and we start living our nature. And that is, in the end, the price we get, the price of being free. And that the freedom is really to be felt at the moment. There is a sense of freedom, and sometimes it can feel very scary, because we have been living in this small box that we have been living in, by our minds, by not being awake. And it was not fitting, it was dark, it was all kinds of things, but at least it was known. So some of us might feel like, in that movie, Finding Nemo, those fishes that come out of the seaweed and then go back, and then they come out and then they come back. This is a little bit how you might feel at the moment, that you come out of the seaweed, and all of a sudden you're in this tremendous void, this tremendous spaciousness, this tremendous freedom. And sometimes it can feel exhilarating, and sometimes it can feel downright anxious and scary. And we might feel we want to contract again. We want to pull back into that seaweed where, okay, it stinks, but at least I know the smell. At least I know what I'm surrounded with. And that's okay, you know, to go back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, because this period is still a transition period. This year is still a year of endings. And giving yourself the space and I think most of all the kindness and the softness just to make that movement forth and back, forth and back. It's okay. It's okay to sometimes be in old habits and old patterns, and a few hours later or maybe a few days later you feel you've let go of it again and you're back into this void, into this spaciousness. And it's also learning to tolerate the void, because our ego is really, the ego is not happy in the void. Our essence is, it's a spaciousness. It is, you know, it's just isness. It's space to breathe. It's our heart opening. It is. But the contraction is going to be also be there in this time frame, and will be there for an amount of time. So observe that movement, observe the contraction, observe the relaxation and the spaciousness and the forth and back movement we are going to be making for the coming months. Yeah, I think that is what I want to leave you guys with, and much love.